Floridians will no longer be able to choose update or change the gender on their Florida driver's license. According to a memo sent state officials by the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles and obtained by CNN. In Friday's memo, Robert Kinich, Deputy Director of the Highway Safety and Motor Vehicle Administration, said previous policies allowing residents to choose to change their gender were not supported by regulatory authority. Current law states that Florida Department of Motor Vehicles can issue new license only when a license permit is lost, stolen, or there is subsequent change in the licensee's name, address, restrictions, according to notice. In addition, misrepresenting one's gender, understood as sex, on a person's driver's license constitutes and subjects the offender to criminal and civil penalties, including revocation, suspension or revocation of one's driver's license, the statement said. Critics and LGBTQ civil rights activists say new licensing policy is just the latest example of targeted attacks on transgender people in state, which has seen new restrictions on access to gender-affirming treatments and bathrooms in recent years. Previous policies reflected recommendations from the World Association of Transgender Health Professionals and allowed transgender people to file a certified doctor's note with the DMV and update their licenses. However, 2023 state law does not list doctor's note as an approved document for driver's license application, and mentions gender only once without providing definition. In memo, Kinich wrote that a driver's license is an identification document that assists public and private entities in determining identity of person presenting driver's license, allowing an individual modify his or her license to reflect an inherent sense of gender role or identity that is neither immutable nor objectively verifiable could undermine the purpose of identity registration and impede the state's ability to enforce its laws, Kinich wrote. The document also states the term gender does not refer to one's internal perception of one's gender role or identity, but has been historically and widely understood as a synonym for gender. The note also identifies the person's gender. Gender is considered to be determined by innate and immutable biological and genetic characteristics. The new policy comes amid broader attacks in states across the country on legal recognition of transgender people, said Brandon Wolf, the Human Rights Campaign's Senior Director of Political Communications and National Press Secretary. It also withdrew the memo's limited definitions of sex and gender. Gender has consistently been understood to mean more than a person's reproductive organs. And even when looking at reproductive organs, sex is more complex than a doctor's quick assessment at birth. Molly Best, a spokeswoman for Highway Safety Motor Vehicle Administration, said department's chief executive, Dave Kerner,